from the home of Big Blue Nation. This is BBN Gameday, presented by Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment.
Welcome into BBN Gameday. I'm Mary Jo Perino.
And I'm Christy Thomas. On today's episode, we're going to get you ready for the last football game of the season. Hard to believe.
I know. We'll talk about some of the seniors who will be playing their last home game. And of course, it's that beautiful time of year when football and basketball are both going on, so we get to talk hoops too. But let's start with football because today is senior night for the Cats. And up top, we should say that any of these seniors could, in theory, Christy, come back for another year since the NCAA has granted all Division I athletes that extra year because of COVID. Mark Stoops said he'll have some of those conversations with his players next week, but tonight will likely be Terry Wilson's final game inside Kroger Field. Coach Stoops talks about what he believes Wilson's legacy should be.
He did everything he could for this program. You know, he's a young man that helped us win 10 games. That there's no taking that away from him. You know, he's a guy that laid it all out on the line for his team each and every week. None of us are perfect. That's a hard position to play. He came back from a very serious injury, and he gave it everything he has, and I greatly appreciate that.
Christy, Terry won in the Swamp, won at Tennessee, won at Louisville, won a bowl game, and he has done it all with the utmost class and likability. And how anyone cannot root for this guy is beyond me.
It is 100% something that I got on a soapbox about last week, Mary Jo, during Countdown to Kickoff on the radio, saying I'm not sure how grown people, how grown human beings get on the internet and get on social media and dog a kid who has done everything right. Yeah. Everything he has done it the right way and tried so very hard to do all the right things for this program. And all he's done is win games. I mean, quite honestly, that's all he's done is win games. So my hope is that, and what I think about that as well too, is that his legacy is going to have to be a couple of years down the road before we really know exactly what, or we have that kind of or level of respect for what his game really did here. So also likely the last game for several members of the Big Blue Wall. This group has been one of the best offensive lines in UK football history, and they've been through so much this year with Coach John Schlarman's passing and have continued to be rock solid. Coach Stoops says he's really going to miss these guys.
Luke, Drake, and Landon, you know, and Darian. You know, I hope Darian comes back for another year. Those three guys and Darian, they've been rock solid for many years and have meant an awful lot to the program. You cannot ask for better young men than the three guys you just mentioned there, and again with Darian. Just incredible people, great leaders, very appreciative of them.
Great group of guys that have laid the groundwork for something very, very special in years to come for this offensive line.
So I'm going to remember this class, Christy, mostly for the guys that are from Kentucky, right? Landon Young, Drake Jackson. These kids have bled blue, and they have, you mentioned Terry doing it the right way. I mean, these guys have all been great, and then losing their coach. Just hats off to them.
Yep, absolutely. Well, as for the game itself, South Carolina's program has been decimated by injuries and opt-outs after the firing of Will Muschamp earlier this year. That includes 3 starters in their secondary, headlined by projected first-round pick J.C. Horn. The Gamecocks still have some bright spots on offense, though. Running back Kevin Harris leads the SEC in rushing. Freshman quarterback Luke Doty played well against Georgia last week in his first career start.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it, though. I think South Carolina is a dumpster fire train wreck, so I'm hoping that we can show them up today.
I think so.
Now let's get a look at today's game day forecast.
UK Sports Network Chief Meteorologist Bill Meck is here. Bill, I'll tell you what, Gamecocks QB Luke Doty said this week that he's never seen snow before. So what about today? Will we get it today?
No, we don't have to worry about that. But what we will have to deal with is the cold. Now, speaking as somebody who grew up in the Big 8 or went to school in the Big 8, this is okay. This is what we would see back in like the late games in November. So you all are getting a taste of some cold here. But for the SEC, this is not how it's supposed to be. Welcome to December night football, when temperatures will be in the mid-30s. That is cold. It will do nothing except get colder through the night. The thing to look forward to at the end of the game is the Victory Hot Chocolate with temperatures in the low 30s. So be prepared, lots of layers, be excited, and enjoy the cold and the victory.
I'll actually take it because I got a little bit worried that we were going to have to be pushed back into January, and I was really, really worried about that.
Listen, this will be one of those games where you're glad you have a mask on.
Yeah, that's right.
It will keep you warmer.
That's right.
We can't have an episode of BBN Game Day in December and not talk about Kentucky basketball. The team lost to Kansas on Tuesday in a frustrating game. The Cats will have a chance to totally redeem themselves tomorrow against an 0-2 Georgia Tech team. And Christy, this team has to dominate because Georgia Tech is not good.
Well, they gave up a 13-point lead. You can't have that, right? And then Jalen Wilson, they had no answer for him in the second half. 21 of his 23 points. Got to get stuff like that corrected, no doubt about that. Well, the women's team, they had a good week. They improved to 3-0 on the season and finally got to see Ryan Howard play after a 2-game suspension. She was a little rusty in her first game back. She shot just 3 of 14 from the floor, missed all 7 of her 3-point attempts. That won't happen again. She's a very good 3-point shooter. The team still pulled out a 60-49 win over Kansas. And I'll tell you what, the player that has emerged in her absence was Dreanna Edwards, 2 back-to-back double-doubles. She is really a force to be reckoned with. She's a little undersized in that post, but she is physical, she's athletic, and she can shoot. So a lot of things that we got to see her do, real versatile in her game.
And her heart, my goodness,
plays
like
hard.
she does not stop. Her motor keeps going. So that is great to see. All right, coming up next on BBN Game Day, we're going to circle back to the football team and Senior Day.
Mary Jo will talk with a key member of the Big Blue Wall who's a homegrown talent. That's next.
Tune in to the Don Franklin Countdown to Kickoff show with Christy Thomas and former Wildcats Jeremy Jarman and Dusty Bonner. 2 hours before kickoff on UK Sports Network radio affiliates and the UK Athletics app.